Hey there, and welcome to the Healing Word of the Week podcast with me, Marissa of Marissa Moments, where you might get triggered into seeing your own reflection, but it's to reconnect you to yourself and awaken the divinity within. So prepare for laughs, resonance, and accountability through true stories, channeled messages, prophetic words, and everything in between. So I hope you're ready, because guess what? Here we go. Okay, y'all. So the word of the week is effort. Effort, E-F-F-O-R-T, or efforts, however variation works for you. Run with it, right? So what God just put on my heart, because let me be very transparent with you. I have been just sitting in the house doing literally nothing. Okay. And I have so much work that I need to take care of, but I'm just like, I just keep thinking about the list over and over in my head. And I'm like, yep, I got to do this, that, those, everything, right? Everything in between. And yet I'm still just sitting there and I'm like, my tummy kind of hurts. So I'm just going to chill. And then I find myself scrolling on Instagram and the tickety talk and all the things, right? And nothing's getting accomplished. Absolutely nothing. And then I'm sitting there and just developing this state of overwhelm, this self-inflicted overwhelm, mind you, because I'm not doing anything. Exo facto, I'm not putting in any effort. Now, what God put on my heart to share with you is God helps those who help themselves. You may have heard that before, and if not, let me be the first to tell you. Now, this is based off of facts, right? If you need any proof, then just put some, effort behind your actions. Something that I tell my kids, because sometimes, of course, I get frustrated with them when they don't do the things that I want them to do in a timely manner, or they don't have any sense of urgency. Now, I say all the time, all you have to do is care, right? All you have to do is care. And that kind of alludes to the fact of effort, right? Because when you care, then you put forth effort. Then you try, you make an actual attempt, as opposed to just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. When we put forth effort, then the outcome can be elevated, right? Oftentimes we have all these dreams, visions, goals, manifestations put on our heart. However we want to define it, it's the same thing, you guys. But however word that resonates with you, run with that one so you don't miss out on your message, right? And that's truly why I say all the different words that mean the same things, because I want to make sure that you're paying attention and you don't get lost on semantics or in semantics, however it goes. Anyway, we're talking about effort, right? So when we have these dreams that are put on our hearts by God, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and or saints, then that is God saying, you have the capacity and you have the capabilities. However, if we continue to sit on the couch, like I was just saying that I was doing, then we'll never get anything accomplished. Then we'll just kind of keep going over and over these concepts in our mind. And then we'll start, you want to know what else will happen? And it's going to piss you off, right? Because it's pissed me off. And I don't even really cuss anymore, so it feels weird to even say that, but that's neither here nor there. What's going to end up happening is you're going to see your manifestation coming to fruition through someone else, through another source. And what you're going to do is you're going to still continue to sit on that couch like I was doing a moment ago, and you're going to judge. You're going to switch from a seat of action to a seat of judgment and declare that you could have done better. You thought of that first. You coulda, woulda, shoulda, all the things, right? But if we just put forth that effort in the beginning, right? As soon as that notion comes to our mind and to our heart, then that means that we have the capacity to bring it to fruition. Maybe it's not going to be as grandiose as the long-term goal is, but you have to start somewhere. There's so many times and so often that we use lack of resources as an excuse, right? Especially in today's day and age, depending, of course, upon where you're located in this world, because I'm not ignorant to the fact that not everyone has access to anything, really, right? Some people don't have any resources at all. But here's the amazing thing behind that notion, because a lot of times people with the very least amount of resources create the most beautiful things, right? Haven't you ever heard necessity is the mother of invention? So that in itself also takes away our excuses to say we are incapable of bringing these manifestations, visions, goals to fruition. How many times can I say fruition? Fruition. That's a difficult word too. But the thing of it is, and the message that I want you to take away from this week's podcast is that you have to start putting forth some effort. You have to. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have to do anything, right? We all have free will. So it's up to us to make that decision, but not only make that decision, but to act on it, because to know something and to do something are two totally different things. So if you want to see those goals come into play, if you want the journey to begin or continue, then it is up to you. We so often put our power in the hands of other people and say that we have to wait on so-and-so in order to get that green light to move ahead. And I'm no stranger to this notion either. With me doing the boutique, there's been plenty of times where I've approached different people to say, hey, I would love to do this project with you. Hey, I have this idea, this notion that was put on my heart, and I think it would be great for us to join forces and be able to bring it to fruition. There's that word again. and you know what happens? They hit the pause button. I've been placated, with the pat on the head. Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I'll get back to you, And then I follow up and they say, I'll get back to you. And then I follow up again. And what is that me doing? That's me chasing them to bring but to bring some magic to fruition, because these are notions that are put on my heart and I know carry success. I know that they carry wins with them. So why am I so pressed to have somebody else join forces with me that is hesitant, that doesn't see the power of the vision, that it does not have the same vision or picture on their heart? And that is okay that they don't. But what happens in this situation and circumstance is I'm giving over my power and authority because I'm saying, I need you in order to make this happen. You hold all the cards. The ball is in your court. How many different ways can we say the same thing? But when it comes down to it, and you want to know what has happened, because one of those circumstances and situations happened very early on with me starting the Give and Receive. And I said, okay, but God put it on my heart. It was a fire under my feet, so I couldn't stand still. And so I went on to the next person. And you want to know what the next person said? The next person said yes. And so now we have things happening, right? But if I would have stayed in that seat, in that position of pause, just giving my power and authority that God has bestowed upon me over to that other person, then nothing would have happened. And it wasn't because I needed to have some sort of money or I needed to have access to a certain thing. It was that sometimes God will test us to see, when in the face of a no, will you still put forth effort? Will you still drive forward? Will you still have faith over that fear? Will you still say that, you know what, this is what I'm here for? This is, whether it be your actual purpose or a part of your purpose, will you still dive into that as opposed to leaning back and saying, everyone else has power over me? All it comes down to is effort. People can tell you no all day long. And honestly, they will. You will be distracted. You will want to sit on the couch like I was doing. You will want to do anything but the actual work needed to get things done. And it's natural. It's human nature because it's comfortable. My couch is comfortable. Scrolling the interwebs, as I like to call it, is just mindless. I don't have to put any effort into that. But where does that get me at the end of the day? Nowhere. It gives me a longer to-do list for the following day that's going to lead to overwhelm, anxiety, exhaustion, and all the things. However, if I take some time and just put forth a little bit of effort, it doesn't even have to be a lot, just a little bit of effort, then I start marking things off that list, right? And I'm not talking about the made up list of things that we don't necessarily really have to do, but we just throw at ourselves because, hey, I don't have enough to do. And if I don't have enough to do, then I won't be able to have a conversation with someone to say how much I have to do. I mean, many of us do that. And again, all of these stories, all of these channeled messages, all of these things, the reason I'm able to share this with you is because it is based off of my life as well. I am no stranger to any of these notions. Let me tell you, in my 45 years of existence on this planet, I have experienced a lot, a whole lot. I like to say I've lived several lifetimes within this one, right? And so have you, depending upon how you look at it, right? But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to remind you of is the effort. We all know, and when you put forth that actual effort, right? When you get focused and when you decide that you are going to make things happen and get things done, then guess what? Things get done. So what I don't want you to do is walk away from this and make excuses and decide to sit down and put forth no effort and decide to say, I deserve this rest, even though you have tons of things that really need to get done, right? What I want you to do is walk away from this message and look at your life, and not even necessarily your whole life, because that's a whole lot to look at, right? But look at like your day. Look at your day, maybe write down a schedule or a to-do list or whatever it is, and then identify the things that actually need to get done. And then guess what? Put forth some effort to get them done. Don't use a simple no or a proverbial pause button as an excuse to sit back and allow that list to overwhelm you and overflow. Because the reason why God, again, will have people say no to you is to see how dedicated you are to your mission. And so in the face of that no, it's not only to see your dedication, but it's often redirection, because maybe you weren't meant to partner with that person. Maybe you weren't meant to do things with them because maybe they would have tried to take over. Maybe they would have tried to skew the vision. Maybe, who knows? But what we're learning to do is find acceptance. But even through acceptance, that doesn't mean complacency. So I'm not going to keep going on and on. It's already been over 13 minutes. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down at this point. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love that we are on this journey together, because you are not alone in this. And I love knowing that I'm not alone in this either, because this journey is not for the faint of heart, right? You got to be real strong to decide you're going to heal and you're going to break some generational curses, because boy, oh boy, it is not simple. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Remember to check out the archives. Remember to tune in next week for the new word of the week. Remember to take how it resonates and take what resonates and apply it to your life with a healed perspective. And then leave the rest to the wayside. And if this message resonates for someone else that you know, we're using common sense now. Share it, because we are no longer gatekeeping our healing. We are no longer gatekeeping things that bring us sparks of joy, clarity, wisdom, and all the things. So share it away. Happy healing, apples and tomatoes and all the things. And until next time, thanks for listening. Oh, and don't forget to follow me all over social media. Sorry, y'all, I got thrown off. My kids are running around. Don't forget to follow me on all of social media. I'm literally everywhere, you guys. But remember, when you look me up, it is Marissa Moments, and that is Marissa with one S, because there is only one me. So until next time, I wish you the best day, week, hour, year, month, everything ever, and the happiest of healing. Bye.